Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We are live downtown Las Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino here on a Monday. 15 minutes from right now, Nick Bogdanovich joins the program. Sports betting Hall of Famer here at Circa Sports. We'll go over some numbers that we have for college football coming up in week number 3 of that sport. Here, Pauly, the originators of a segment called, in a bit, known as I Don't Want to Overreact, but. And I'll start with this. I don't want to overreact, but you can have Tom Brady. What are they paying him? $37.5 million a year? I would say the debut in the second quarter, we're listening to the game. Just like, has he said anything that has been substantial at all today?
I can't believe.
What's the positive takeaway? But here's the problem. Yep. Here's the problem that I have more than anything on the game. He'll get better with time. The nonsense of these commercials that play over and over and over again about nobody believed in me, everybody gave up, everybody thought I was going to be a dope, couldn't play, 6th-round pick. Can we please, Tom, it's 25 years ago, buddy. I know that maybe that's in your head, but nobody has thought this about you for a quarter of a century, a full generation plus. Knock it off. Stop running those commercials. It's offensive. You're insulting the consumers. Nobody thinks this. It's Tom Brady who thinks this at this point. Get it off the airwaves. You can have him.
Yeah. I was shocked he was nervous. I was shocked he had problems putting sentences together. I couldn't believe it. I know, but he's going to get better, and he's going to practice, and he's going to take all the negativity that, how people reviews and how bad he was, and he'll do a better job. And it was his first time, but I did find it interesting that Joe Davis said, because he's part owner of the Raiders, he can't be in the pre-production meetings, and that's huge. That's according to Joe Davis, who works
for any game.
Yeah, he's not allowed in. Can't do it. Can't be in those meetings.
And they never thought about this when they signed him in to be an analyst.
I can't believe he was nervous. It's Tom Brady.
I know.
He was married to a supermodel. I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm. Played at the highest level for 20 years.
Yeah.
Never had a problem. Down 28-3 in the Super Bowl, doesn't matter. Came right back. This totally different ball game.
Yep.
I don't want to overreact. Cowboys are going to be fine. How about that? Because the Commanders look like trash on defense. I think Daniels can play. Commanders' defense was terrible. The Giants are going to be in the mix for the worst team in the league. Philly their talent is awesome. We saw it on Friday night. But maybe there's a path here to where we were, burying this team. And we had a tombstone already taken care of on their 2024 season before it ever started. There was, for the month of August and what happened in the news cycle, as Adam Burke pointed out today on VSiN.com, the Browns were taking money the entire time leading into the game. And they were dominated by the Cowboys. And Dak signs that deal. Lamb is an unbelievable target to have. The running game, my question is there, but maybe the defense is good enough to carry this team to 10, 11 wins. And I know we talked about the quarterbacks a lot in the first hour. I don't want to overreact, but I'm not going to get there with calling Caleb Williams the next superstar at this point. I need to see it to believe it. Always do with these guys when they come out with this much hype. It was not pretty. It's one game, I get it, but boy, oh boy. A lot to be desired there with him, and I don't want to overreact, but I don't care if they run the table. I don't care if they're 11-1 and then they have wins over Florida State and maybe USC. That was such a bad loss by Notre Dame at home. Keep them out of the playoffs. Don't put them in.
Yep.
Get out of here with that crap. So, in fact,
a horrible loss.
I would tell you this. Even if they run the table and they're 11-1, that was such a bad loss. There's no debate to be had. You can put a 10-2 SEC team in front of them every single time, and I'm fine with it. And I don't think you can ever even argue Notre Dame being over a 10-2 SEC team.
No.
Because that's how good the conference is this year.
Chris Felica, since 2022, 28 times a team has lost as a 16-plus point favorite. Notre Dame has done it 3
times. I believe it.
Yep.
There's a good stink bomb waiting to happen, and Riley Leonard is no good. Mm-hmm. Period.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. I know what you say about Williams, but I don't want to overreact, but these rookie quarterbacks are going to be okay. And it was rough. I know that. The play callers did them no favors either. Stop it. Take the training wheels off. What are we doing here? Bo Nix completed 26 passes for 130 yards. Why is Williams throwing every pass 1 yard or behind the line of scrimmage? He did have a guy deep he missed a couple times, and I know Allen's dealing with some injuries, and now Odunze got hurt. But come on with the play calling. This is outrageous what they were doing to Daniels, to Nix, and Williams. Take some shots down the field. Knock it off. Also, John Elway, 1 of 8, interception, first game. Joe Montana, 5 of 12, 36 yards. Ben Roethlisberger, 12 of 20, 2 interceptions, won his next 15. Peyton Manning, first start, 3 interceptions. Troy Aikman, 17 of 35, shut out. It's going to be okay. It was rough, but they're going to be fine. I don't want to overreact. The NFL's so worried about points, and kicking is too easy. Something must be done. 19 50-yard plus field goals were made. The record was set by before the late games kicked off.
Hold on. What has to be done? I thought it was a thing of beauty yesterday. It's going to be a total game changer.
You think it's
handicapping these games is going to become more difficult now.
I think it's too easy. If you want teams to go for it and you want offense, you want this guy coming out 60 yards, no problem, bang. Boswell, 57, 56, 51, 6 for 6. Aubrey, 66, no problem. Right. Aubrey, 66 in the preseason, no problem. 66 hit the net.
Yep. So here's my question about this, Pauly, that needs to be examined, I think, maybe sooner than later. Because of this now, will this change the mindset of certain head coaches and play callers once they get deep, and whatever that yard line might be?
Yeah. That's what Tomlin did. I mean, it's 4th and 2. He's trying a 57-yard field goal.
So if they hit the 35, the 37, the 40-yard line, all of a sudden it's 4th and 2. You know what? My guy's reliable all of a sudden. I can count on him to go out there and hit a 55-yarder. Do we see that more? Does it happen?
McCarthy certainly knows what he has in Auburn.
Well, that guy is a serious game changer.
Yeah.
No fooling around. He might be Justin Tucker here.
No doubt. A record, Mitch? We had the record by the late games.
No, I know.
19 50-yard field goals?
Do you want to shrink the goalpost? What do you want to do? Bring him in?
Yep. I was in the pool. Shrinkage. Bring him in.
You can't do that.
It's too easy. Why? Because then the people will go for it. Then that's what Goodell wants.
But we're just getting over a time where, in fact, we're not even over it yet, where these kickers miss extra points all the time.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
I say one game, it's a blip. I say it's an aberration.
Okay.
Yeah, and meanwhile, here's Antonio Pierce losing his mind by punting on 4th and 1.
2 weeks in a row. 2 weeks in a row. Dan Lanning, I'm out. What is going on? They were lucky they won that game as a 3-touchdown favorite at home to Boise State.
Careless.
What is going on with
forced errors?
I've seen enough, too. Ohio State to win the Big Ten. I mean, this is out of control. You need a kickoff and a punt return to win? Dan Lanning, the bee's knees. Alabama wanted him. Said, no, I'm staying. Everyone loved Dan Lanning. He's the best. DeBoer kicked his ass.
Let me throw this at you. What if Boise State's really good?
They are good.
I'm saying their offense might be elite in the country.
Our quarterback's good, and the Genti's awesome too. I know.
What did he rip off again? Like about 20 and 3 more touchdowns?
The Boise to make the playoff looks great. I don't care if they lose 2 games.
How about that? What else are you going to put in? For the group of 5.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm holding them at 7-1 on various tickets to make the playoffs.
As am I.
And I'm like, that win would have been absolutely. I mean, you can book it at that point.
Oregon was only like 8 in the second half.
I know.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. The wild games were bananas. I got Liberty, a 22-point favorite, almost lost. I got Arizona State almost blowing the big lead.
Yeah.
I have great call by Brad Powers. Oregon State, easy sweat, though. The Oregon finish, Peacock. I mean, it was crazy what was going on with too many. There's 7 games going on.
So Nick Bogdanovich is going to join us in studio coming up in about 7 minutes. We have to ask him about this Oregon State game because we're getting the rivalry games this weekend.
Civil War Apple Cup.
Right.
It's way too many points.
So I was going to say, based on what we've seen from Oregon so far, they opened up 2 touchdowns and they're taking money.
Making money, 16.5 now.
Yeah, against Oregon State. Are we sure about this?
I love Gabriel, but again, it's too much dink and dunk.
Huh?
What do you do again? Look at all the completions he had, but then you look at the yards.
Yeah. I was concerned after game 1. People are saying they're not showing anything against Idaho because they had Boise on deck. And my whole thing was 41 of 49 for 380. He's going to turn him into Bo Nix. Dylan Gabriel is not Bo Nix.
Not good. I know Idaho went out and won, too, as a nice dog. But still, come on, guys. The originators. I don't want to overreact. I see you, McAfee. All right, great job. Anything week 2 you like, too? I mean, how about the Texans taking money? Well, rightfully so.
We've had
how
so
good
many.
The Texans look.
Yeah.
That was ballsy. They go for the touchdown up 2 late, 4th and goal. And they get it?
I think you had to. I
did
agree.
you think so?
I agreed with the move, yeah, because you saw, that big playability from Richardson in that Colts offense is there.
Well, come on. You're up 9 with 4 minutes. You can't let a guy get behind you.
Well, he's taking shots all game long, though. What did I hear? It was his average depth of target was 16 yards in that game.
Yeah.
So he's just going back and saying, guys, come on, the fly pattern, here we go. I'm taking shots down the field. That's why, unfortunately, the Love injury, I'm telling you, this Packers game against the Colts had 65 points written all over it.
How about the swing, though? Like, what is Malik Willis? It's the downgrade. How big of a downgrade? They were laying 5, and
it's
now
a massive downgrade.
Now they're +3.
Yeah, people are on X right now. They're questioning why we would say you got to go get Ryan Tannehill because he's a relic. My point is Malik Willis has been, and do I expect Ryan Tannehill to go there and play like Sam Darnold did yesterday? Absolutely not. But Malik Willis is so bad, has been so bad that you can't trot him out there.
Can't throw the ball. He's
going to have to come in like an emergency if Love gets hurt during a game. Not before the game, and he's going to be the starter. He's awful.
Yeah.
So, and now LaFleur has 1 week to get ready for his first start ever in a Packers uniform when they just got him. I don't think Tannehill's going to be great shakes. I know Willis can't play. We've seen it.
Huntley? This guy's out there.
Yeah, sure, somebody like that.
Sure. You have too many weapons. You got to get someone who can throw the ball at least.
You think you should have moved for Jameis Winston in the preseason?
Yeah. But, you can't figure on these injuries. It's just, terrible. Thank God it wasn't because of the field. I'll say that.
Yeah, I know.
Guys slipping and sliding everywhere.
All right, college football up next. Sports betting Hall of Famer here at Circa, Nick Bogdanovich on the program. So we will get into that Ducks game against the Beavers. Squeaky bum time twice for Oregon. And they're taking money. Are we sure that's the right move? We'll ask Nick about it coming up.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, Mondays at this time, Sports Betting Hall of Famer. He's here at Circa Sports. Nick Bogdanovich joins the program. We'll hit some college football. Nick, good to see you. Good afternoon. Thanks for the time, as always. We appreciate it. We were just talking about this game. The Civil War's bumped up now because no more Pac-12. So it's Oregon playing at Oregon State, and it's been squeaky bum time for the Ducks in their 2 games so far this year. Tight, down to the wire, maybe fortunate to win either or both those games. What'd you guys open up here? And now as high as 16.5?
Yeah, we opened 14 up to 16.5. I think Oregon, those 2 games against the spread might be the worst performances in the history of point spreads. The Idaho game, they've failed by 33 points, and last week they failed by 17 points. So we're looking like 50 points negative against the spread the first 2 weeks. So, now they're playing their in-state rival who's had 2 nice, clean games at home, which is a monster home field. And this thing goes from 14 to 16. I don't get it. I think it's way too high. I hope it keeps going. I'd love to take a big number there.
Would you take 17, or would you see if it even goes beyond that? Could it get to 17.5?
For sure, I'd take 17. But who knows? The way they bet this team, I just do not understand the move. But
so what does this do in a couple weeks when Ohio State comes to town?
Yeah, no, that was a hell of a game, huh?
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, exactly.
If this keeps up, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, no. Hey, listen. On paper, the Ducks look like they were going to be a top 2 or 3 team, but hey, you got to get it done on the field.
Damn right. It's a joke right now. How about the Apple Cup? Tough.
Yeah.
Good win by Washington State.
Very good win.
I know Tech has issues, but also Pullman, tough place to play. And Washington may be better than what we thought, even though they were significantly downgraded. We're losing everybody. But
yeah, this game will be played where the Seahawks play, not on campus. There'll be some Cougar fans.
Sure.
And there's plenty of Cougar fans in that area. It'll probably be 80-20. This game opened 3 up to 4. It's another game, another rivalry game. I hope it keeps going up. I'd like to take 6 in this game.
No doubt, no doubt. Okay, now what did you do here? Memphis and Florida State. Because there was one book who put up 1.5. It was 17 in the summer, and now I think did it open 5, go to 7? What'd you open?
Yeah, I think we opened 4 up to 7, back to 6.5, and right back to 7.
Okay.
So there's money for Florida State. Again, I hope it keeps going up because I want to be on the dog. I'm looking to take as many as I can there. I like Memphis in that game.
I'm with you on
right.
that. I'm with
All
you.
right.
So if you go back to 2 weeks ago, the look-ahead number, games of the year, Bama, some spots, they were laying 9 against Wisconsin. Well, Wisconsin, it hasn't been pretty for that team in their first 2 games. Alabama, that's a 1-point game in the fourth quarter before it exploded. And they scored, 4 touchdowns late to put away South Florida on Saturday. Now they're laying 15.5 in that game. What do you make of that number?
Yeah, we opened 14 up to 16. I think settled at 15.5. I made it 14. No, I'm a home dog type of guy, but I don't want Wisconsin. I just the eye test for them, they fail miserably. Alabama to get a scare against a decent South Florida squad, and then they've got things corrected. So I could see this one getting away late. I don't want anything to do with Wisconsin, but I'm going to pass. But I don't want Wisconsin.
It's not the best schedule, and we only have 2 games where ranked opponents play one another. But there's some interesting games. Arizona State, Texas State on Thursday, a hell of a performance by Texas State. Arizona State almost gave it away, but the great comments about how it's a different team and we're fighting and we're together. Anything with that?
That's a hell of a sleeper game.
Sure.
For a Thursday, ASU's come out nice. Texas State might be the favorite in the Sun Belt, and they score a lot, so it's going to be exciting. So for a Thursday, a matchup you just never see. So yeah, that's a good one. It's right in the pick'em range. We're gonna write a ton of business to that game.
No doubt. How about UNLV Kansas?
That's phenomenal. I think they played in the bowl last year, and Kansas whipped them up pretty good. I like UNLV in this spot. Hoping it gets over 7. We're at 7 right now. It's been dancing around that number. UNLV with 2 really, really good performances. They absolutely made Houston look silly, and Houston went in to Norman and outplayed them and had them beat. So little revenge from the bowl game. Good team who can run the football on the road, getting 7. I definitely going to be on UNLV in that game.
And they can play good defense, have a really good coach. I'll give you this. If I think 7's too high as well. If they win the game outright, can we start maybe having the conversation about UNLV could realistically be that group of 5 team to make the playoffs?
Yeah, if they go into Lawrence and win that game, sure, why not? Why not a little talk?
They got to beat Boise.
Oh, no, I understand
But
that.
But they'd be a big win, no doubt, for the conference.
How much have you upgraded? What have you done to Boise's number? Because week 1 did not look pretty. What happened against Georgia Southern? But they come back and almost beat Oregon.
Yeah, you know what? On the Boise game against Georgia Southern, I don't think I lowered them any. And on off their performance at Oregon yesterday, I think I raised them 2.5. So I've upgraded Boise up 2.5 since the start of the season.
Would you raise Texas after what they did to Michigan?
Texas I already had pretty high, and Michigan, and I expected that performance, so I only raised them 1 off the win at Michigan. So they're my number 2 power-rated team.
Arizona, Kansas State, Friday night, 7.5.
I like Kansas State.
Do you?
I think
that was a tough
teams go into Manhattan and things happen. And Arizona's defense is a little shoddy.
Okay.
I think K-State runs them out.
Okay, what do you do? Here we go again, right? Utah looks great, opening up a can on Baylor, and then Rising got hurt. They had the backup couldn't move the ball. 21.5 at Utah State. Oh, by the way, Oklahoma State's on deck. Whittingham said he'll be okay. Fingers were taped up, throwing hand.
Yeah, who means more, Jordan Love or Cam Rising? Yeah, Utah is a different team without him, for sure. I mean, now granted, they were way up when he went out, and Whittingham just wanted to get out of there, so they got real vanilla, played it safe, and but but we've seen it from years past. They need Cam Rising in the worst way.
You want to take the 21.5, or just wait and see if it's the backup, especially what's on deck. It's a classic look-ahead spot, even though Utah State's down. But
yeah, well, Utah State's quarterback's out too. He missed the USC game, and they didn't score a point against USC, so they need Petrus back in the worst way as well. So lots of moving parts in that game. There's semi-little rivalry there. Utah, Salt Lake and Logan are not that far apart, and Utah State would love to hang with Big Brother, but yeah, I mean, you got to see what's going on with the 2 quarterbacks.
So what you mentioned it. How much does Love mean to the number?
Well, I think he means an enormous amount. First of all, he's really good. He proved that in the playoffs last year, and Malik Willis is a train wreck, and he just came on very few, 2 or 3 games before the end of the season. They made the roster moves, so he doesn't have any chemistry, and he's not I gotta believe Love to Willis is all of 6 or 7 points.
Yeah, has to be, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So what do you think rising would be then to the backup here at Utah?
Yeah, I'd write about the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have an opinion on the Monday night game tonight? Point spread's been going back and forth.
Yeah, I took the Jets. Frisco with their, the IU holdout, the Trent holdout, the McCaffrey ankle, just all sorts of little negative little iffies that add up to maybe something. And plus, I mean, the Jets, all reports are Aaron Rodgers looked great in camp. I mean, Breece Hall is as good as there is. Their defense as good as there is. I mean, it screams like the dog there to me. I don't. Obviously, Frisco's the nuts when everything's lined up, but everything's not lined up.
I agreed with that.
Yep. How'd the books do? How'd you do Saturday? How'd you do Sunday?
Yeah, it was a solid. It wasn't
ham
nothing
sandwich?
Spectacular. I'd say a little more than a ham sandwich, but a
Combo meal, Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, you can add the drink in the front and the chips. But yeah, decent week for the book. Nothing great, but decent.
You guys set the world opening numbers in college football every Sunday at 11 o'clock. So the handle here, college football compared to the NFL, you also take absolutely gigantic bets on both sports, but does the college here overtake the NFL some weekends?
Well, they're real equal just because the handle on the NFL games per game is so much more than the college, but there's so many more college games. Right. They sort of even each other out, but the handle's been incredible. Sports betting, it just continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. And it's in more and more and more states. Everyone thought Nevada sports betting would shrivel up and die, but the handle just keeps going through the roof.
Keeps going up.
We're going to have an opportunity, we think, to meet the owner of Raising Cane's. Top 3 in your
100%. Cane's is number 1 in mine.
There you go, buddy. Number 1.
Yeah.
Wow, that's strong.
Put it this way. They're finally going to pop where I'm from, Eau Claire, Wisconsin area. My family is so excited because they've had it out here and they've never had it back in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. They're finally getting it. They're so excited that they're willing to wait outside and join the line of people that are going to be waiting. They're going to be
They know it.
Yeah.
They know it, baby.
And I'm guessing the line of cars lined up when it first opens up is going to be, 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, my old office was right near Cane's. It was, I hit it at least twice a week.
Yeah.
So now when I go, it's not as often, but I enjoy it a little more.
Enjoy it even more now.
Yeah.
All right. Great to see you again today. Thanks for coming in.
You got it, guys.
You.
We appreciate
Enjoy the game.
There you go. Nick Bogdanovich, Sports Betting Hall of Famer, longtime odds maker here in Las Vegas, now at Circa Sports. We'll get back to week 2, afternoon games coming up next. The Atlanta loss looked ugly in real time, but maybe not as bad as you think after diving into the box score. Details on that coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Feels so good. Mondays, week 1 in the books after tonight's Jets 49ers contest in San Francisco. But the fact that we actually have football back is awesome. I don't know how they did it again yesterday, but the Steelers came up smelling like roses yet again. Won the game outright. Falcons took money the entire time. Doesn't matter. Kirk Cousins was horrendous. But I will say this, and I watched a lot of that game in real time, and it never looked pretty for the Falcons. However, here's my one takeaway. Pittsburgh kicked 6 field goals, and those scoring drives look like this. 31 yards, 18, 45, 24, 46, and 11. So the Steelers are playing at the Broncos this week. I saw some spots open 2.5. It's now 3 or 3.5 in favor of Pittsburgh. And watching the Broncos game yesterday, at one point, your whole thing today has been about dink and dunk, open it up for these rookie quarterbacks. I agree. You got to let it breathe, see what we're going to get. Bo Nix was 26 of 42 for 138 yards. That's 3.3 yards per attempt. And in the game, I couldn't believe when I heard this. He had 20 completions for around 80 yards at one point. That's a first for me. I never recall that happening for any quarterback ever in NFL. 4 yards per completion?
Yeah, the same thing. And I know the Bears fans were livid last year with Getsy. And you bring in Waldron, he does the same thing. What's his stuff behind the line of scrimmage? What's his quick pick? The kid's got a rocket for an arm. He's the number 1 pick overall. Unleash hell. Take some shots down the field. It's ridiculous. You trust him or not? Come on.
Yep. So
you can't do that.
Is Wilson going to play? Revenge game for Russ?
Yeah. Well, and the total crash, too, which you have to be on the under from 40.5 down to 37.5 now, too. That's how TJ Watt just wrecked them. And we can't do this again. We can't just sit all these weapons and you see how talented they are and quarterback play. Cousins, both interceptions were terrible. You're still okay. It's what is it, 15-10? I don't know where he's throwing the ball there.
No idea.
You're a veteran. Come on. You can't make that throw. But it's real here that they could start 0-3 because they go to Philly and then they play the Chiefs.
Yep.
So, tough start for the Falcons. Got to win that game.
I have no opinion on this game. I tell you this, the primetime games that we have this week are phenomenal. The Thursday, the Sunday, the Monday, and also the Sunday afternoon game, which is Bengals at Chiefs. That's going to be the national game. Now, the look-ahead had KC 3.5-point favorites, but because of that stink bomb by the Bengals yesterday, they're up to 6 in this game. I do see 5.5 at one book here in Las Vegas. Cincy, 10 points, 13 first downs, only ran 48 plays, 4.7 yards per play, had the ball for 25 minutes and 57 seconds. Mm-hmm. Gesicki, touchdown taken off the board. Tanner Hudson fumbled at the goal line.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Carrying the ball like a loaf of bread. Got what he deserved. Are we sure about Zach Taylor?
No.
All this talk about Chase and Higgins, it's all about Zach Taylor. With Burrow, they are now 1-8 in the first 2 weeks of the season, with losses to Brissett, Tyrod Taylor, Fields, Cooper Rush, and Mitch Trubisky. The hell you doing all offseason?
Sure.
Come on. This can't keep happening. You have to point the finger at Taylor.
Teams are not ready to play. That goes for the first couple of weeks, like you said. I want to make the case that this is too big of a number for the Chiefs. They gave up a zillion yards to the Ravens on Thursday night. Coulda, shoulda, woulda lost the game if Isaiah Likely's foot is an inch shorter than what it actually is. And they were outplayed, I thought, in the second half at home against Baltimore. Well, I mean, when you look at overall win totals, prices to win the division, Bengals were right there with the Ravens. So on paper, the market had this team sitting there as an equal team to Baltimore. And you're catching 6 points now in a game that was 3.5. Seems high, but after that performance again and how they have done this under Zach Taylor now every single year, I don't know if I can take it.
Yeah, I already took the Texans Sunday night. I have to see it until the Bears open it up and they trust Williams, and not to mention how good this Houston offense is and all the weapons that guy has. My God, I don't think it's going to go well for the Bears. I love the defense. I love them forcing turnovers, which they didn't do last year. And I love Torrey Taylor as well. I talked about him Friday. He was great as the punter. And Santos was good, made a couple 50-yard field goals. But until they're going to show that they're going to open up, and now they see what the news is on a Dunze, I mean, I don't think it's going to go well for the Bears. And that's going to be a tough Sunday night game as Houston is real and spectacular.
All right, so one game in, I ran into our buddy Scotty Tribuco, professional sports bettor, before the show started. And he said at one point, we talked about several things in like 5 minutes, but one thing that he pointed out was, Mitch, maybe we're just overlooking this and thinking, hey, what long shot can we take? And we're always trying to like hit big bombs. He's like, why don't we just bet the Chiefs on several tickets and parlays to win the AFC? It's like he's there every single year. What's the stiffest competition in the AFC? I thought maybe there was a path for Houston, this Houston team you're talking about, and maybe the team that plays tonight could be like the second and third best teams in the AFC behind KC.
I can see Houston being the second best team.
I think I can too.
That defense coming together.
I think so. Again, they were.
I mean, Richardson throwing the ball 70 yards.
He's throwing. That's exactly right. And credit to them. And by the way, Shane Steichen's really good on offense. They're going to play in a lot of overs this year. The Colts defense is going to be a problem the entire year, not in a good way. So teams are going to be able to do what they want unless Malik Willis is your quarterback. But I don't really have an issue with it. It's week 1. Richardson took bombs and he hit some of them. He was 9 of 19 passing. But he hit some big plays, and that's why it was a close game.
Going to be good and bad.
I love what Adam Burke wrote today at vsin.com. Caleb Williams owes the Titans for his first career win. Maybe he can paint his nails Titans blue for the game against the Texans in a way of saying thanks.
Yeah.
And the Monday night game, Falcons at the Eagles. The look ahead was 4. It's up to 6. And we've talked a lot about Atlanta already. It's like 6.5.
Let's go positive. I love it. I love Philly. I love everything from that offense. Oh, the weapons. You want to chew the clock and run it out? Here's Smith. A.J. Brown deep? No problem. Getting a little Barkley mixed in? No problem.
They got a little bit of everything.
Weapons. And Hurt struggled early on, but you have him too. So Got to do a better job defensively, but then again, I can't kill you. It's Fangio's first game, and Love's and all the weapons that Love has.
Yeah,
certainly bailed out with what happened. Green Bay not cashing in the red zone, but you have to love bringing in Kellen Moore as well.
Oh, their offense.
Oh, wow.
The Philadelphia offense, there's no reason why it should not be elite this year. Mm-hmm. Now, I get it. The Packers' defense is going to be, they're going to have many issues again.
You think so still?
Oh, it looks like they're going to be really, really bad yet again. The tackling problems, these guys in wrong
bad
spots.
Against the run, okay, yep.
Not a lot of pressure up front. Not a ton of playmakers. Probably going to be an issue there.
Yep.
However, the Eagles' defense, you're right. It was, and I thought Jordan Love was not great. He was behind receivers the entire game. That aside, the Packers they averaged 7.1 yards per play, which tied for the lead in all of football for week number 1. So and they have playmakers. I mean, you saw that with your own eyes. This Reed kid is awesome for Green Bay. Watson can be very good. Jacobs didn't do anything right away, but in the second half, he was coming on. They have a ton of weapons. Now, the Falcons also have weapons. The problem is you have to be a little worried about Kirk Cousins after what you saw yesterday.
Yep. It's alarming. I will give you all the numbers in 15 minutes. You like that for a tease? That's what I will do.
You want to do a little Buccaneers to win the division?
I already did. Thank you.
They were the team that won their division last year, won a playoff game, almost won 2. I saw as high as plus 385 on Friday. Of course, I didn't bet it.
Well, we're going to get some wrong. We're going to get some right. I could not believe they were 3.5 point favorites against the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
Who couldn't stop anything last year.
I had Tampa Bay in one survivor bet, one survivor ticket.
Yep. You're the type of players looking to get down $10,000 or more on an NFL game at the best price in the market, or you want great in-play, instantly accepted. Introducing Sports Trade, the app that's going to change sports betting. $4 line instead of the typical $10. Instant in-game betting. Sport Trade, perfect for those who want a premium betting experience. Sport Trade is live in Jersey, Colorado, Iowa, and coming to Arizona and Virginia this fall. Download Sport Trade, use code VEASAN. Get 10% cash back on each wager in your first week. Terms apply. Got to be 21. Sport Trade, code VEASAN. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All these bad coaches, all these horrific moves. What are you doing? What do you think? And Belichick is on with Peyton Manning tonight.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Atlanta could have had him.
Yep.
Nope. Don't want him. Management afraid of how much power he's going to want. So,
or the Raiders players picked Antonio Pierce.
Of course, had to have him. Loved him, what he did down the stretch last year. Finished strong. Great. What'd you make of here at Circa with more than 14,000 people involved in Survivor, like 34% on Cincinnati?
Yeah, seemed about right. You just got the bad news with Chase and Higgins, so it was hard to get there. I had to put him in on a couple at least because New England's so bad. They didn't do anything other than Stevenson. It was just sloppy turnovers. Couldn't stop the run, and you lose 16-10, which is ridiculous. But of course, the guy fumbles at the one. But
do you think it could be a Pacheco game for the Chiefs on Sunday? There's no more DJ Reader on that front line for the Bengals,
Good
and
point.
Their numbers with him and without him last year were the best or the worst. So, meaning the best when he was on the field, the worst when he was off the field. And in game 1, Stevenson ran nuts. Maybe it's a big Pacheco game for the Chiefs on Sunday.
I could see that, yeah.
In the afternoon game.
In the extra added rest.
I'm with you because I thought
Bengals talking trash, Burrowhead, all that crap. Yeah.
The people who thought 50% on the Bengals, I thought maybe a tad aggressive because that news was just out there that Higgins and or Chase might not play, so they didn't want to take that team. So 34% felt like it was about right. More week 2 numbers coming up next. We will get to the point spread that moved more than a touchdown already. It's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Some sad news in the entertainment world today. James Earl Jones passed away at the age of 93. One of the best voices you'd ever hear do. And he could read anything, and it would sound amazing. Mark Hamill, this is right up your alley, tweeted, "R.I.P. Dad."
Yep. Darth Vader. Baseball, Ray. Baseball. Sad news.
That's unfortunate.
Yep. Puka's also out for it in the next 4 games.
He's out 4 games, huh?
Yep, with the knee. Oh, how many beats can the Rams take? You're
Man.
down 4 linemen, you lose. Now Puka's out a month.
It's one right after another with that team. And easily could have shocked the Lions last night after coming from way back down 17-3 in that game. So the Lions, we'll get to the Rams coming up in a little bit, but the Lions anyway, they're hosting the Buccaneers. This is a very juicy game in my opinion.
Yep.
Mayfield 24-30, 289 yards, 9.6 yards per attempt, 4 touchdowns, a rating of 146.4. Everybody 8. Godwin 8 for 83, touchdown. White 6 for 75. Evans 5 for 61 and 2 touchdowns. The Lions secondary, as they get ready to take on this offense, Stafford was 34-49 last night for 317, and Cooper Kupp went nuts, 14 for $110 and a score. Is this number too high? It's up to 7 at DK.
Well, they got 3 guys hurt in the secondary though in the Washington win. So this should be a game where Goff just goes crazy.
I thought the same thing last night. Didn't happen. But that was a ground and pound game for Detroit more so.
Yes, I know. I don't know why Johnson abandoned the run. That didn't make any sense, and the overtime drive was beautiful. Although certainly it was common sense because the Rams were gassed after the prior drive. But I don't think it's out of control.
No,
you lost too many guys. I mean, they should just be throwing all over them in this one. And I think they do a better job. I still like their defense. I think it's going to be improved. And they did a pretty good job. But you got to give McVay credit. He did a good scheme. Now, the big play can't happen with Johnson. That's a 4-yard pass. That can't go for 60 yards.
Oh, no, absolutely not. And they're deep.
Stafford's got a rocket, and Kupp was great in the win, even though you know it's going to him. But still, a great performance, great game. But I think this is a good spot for the Lions, and so many injuries with Tampa Bay.
I was surprised at the usage last night for Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was on a milk carton last night. Couldn't find him. That was all about Jamison Williams. So McVay and the new defensive coordinator there came up with a game plan because when Amon-Ra St. Brown is healthy, he's a target monster, and he rarely, if ever, disappoints. So I was a little bit surprised to see him shut down at that game last night. The Lions on the ground overall, 31 carries, $163 and 2 touchdowns. It's part of the reason why I think, many people here at the network were on Goff to win the MVP this year. Mm-hmm. It made sense with the schedule, the weapons that he has, playing in a dome, 14 out of 17 weeks. And he was off last night. Amon-Ra did not have a great game. But then when that's happening, look at what can take place between Gibbs and Montgomery in the backfield, because that offensive line can eventually just dominate teams up front. And I think they're going to be able to do that several times this year.
Good game. I played this one over. But you might laugh at me. But Browns and Jags. And I know how bad Watson was, but Cleveland was 9-0 to the over last year in road games. And I don't know what it was. Best defense in the league at home, worst defense in the league in road games. And a lot of bad quarterbacks lit them up. And average quarterbacks. So it was good and bad with the Jacksonville defense. I know Tua said we missed a lot of plays and made a lot of mistakes, but I think this would be a game that could see some points and go over the total of 41.5. Probably some turnovers as well. And we'll see what Stefanski's able to do with Watson. It was just atrocious.
Okay, so let me throw this at you then. The Browns took money for more than a month against the Cowboys, right? They went off as the favorite at home against Dallas. And one bad result, and Watson was as bad as it gets. Based on that one result, did Jacksonville do anything in that game yesterday to make it think that they should take money in this game against Cleveland? Because it's up to 4 in some spots.
Yeah, I thought, I mean, they should have been up 24-7 if he doesn't fumble to 1.
I understand. They had 267 yards of offense. They allowed 400 overall.
Yeah.
That's my only takeaway is that, and I'm not, I kind of agree with you, actually. They should have won that game based on how it was unfolding.
Yeah.
And I want nothing to do with the Browns. But all of a sudden now the market's completely off the Browns after one game? I find that to be a little bit interesting.
Well, I know humans likes to buy on bad news, but again, it was one of the worst performances. It was the worst performance in 30 years by a quarterback with that many passing attempts.
Okay. Well, then, how much better was that than, or how much worse was that than Bryce Young and what he did? Because now this number, hosting the Chargers, was 3.5 LA up to 6.5.
This I can't get there. This is too much. The Chargers made one play the whole day.
Oh, they did nothing.
The Dobbins runs. Yeah. No. They were awful. I will say this: Joe Alt shut down Crosby and did a great job. So that was alarming. I was shocked by that. But they can't be 6.5 on the road. I don't care how bad Young was. And the defense. Huh. I mean, the Chargers did nothing. I can't believe they won that game going away. A lot of help from Pierce, but Look at the points. The Minshew fumble's ridiculous.
Oh, of course.
You're in midfield. How do you, come on.
Yeah, you can make a case the Raiders should have won that game. Herbert didn't do much, and that's not really a surprise. Raiders defense overall is pretty good, but also the plantar fascia leading, he was out for the entire time during the preseason. So I would point this out, though. Is there a chance if they keep him clean? Because, again, the Carolina, that offensive line, right, they addressed that in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And
$150 million, right.
Right. So the Saints just kept Derek Carr clean for pretty much the entire game, and he was fantastic. Let's assume the offensive line for a second keeps, because the defensive line is led by Jadeveon Clowney. That's it.
I know.
Like, what is going on in Carolina?
Yeah.
If they keep Herbert clean, does he look a lot better in this game? So Harbaugh is a clear upgrade. In previous years, under Anthony Lynn and under Brandon Staley, this is 100% a game the Chargers would lose.
And North Turner.
But
Harbaugh was always been good with going to the East Coast, too.
He was awesome with the 49ers.
Yes, he was.
My question is this, actually. Will the Chargers turn into a popular survivor play this week? Because of what people just watched with Carolina and how awful it was.
Well, what's popular? What percentage?
22%.
That high, you think?
That's aggressive, but like 15%.
No. Road game? Eesh.
People love Harbaugh,
Good
man.
luck. Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't have weapons. It was bad. They had no business winning that game. None. Raider mistakes, missed field goal, 4th and 1, stuffed. I'll get to it.
Yeah. All right. This is ridiculous. Yeah. This is the game that moved more than a touchdown. Again, look ahead was Green Bay 5. 3.5 now. They're catching 3.5.
So what's this bozo talking about on X with this Will? He has never thrown a touchdown pass in his career.
Yeah.
He started 3 games in 2022. He didn't throw for more than 100 yards in any of them. He's terrible.
Yeah, so what you're pointing out is earlier in the show, we said the Packers, there are reports they're talking to Ryan Tannehill, and we said, you got to go make a move for the guy. Because Ryan Tannehill, as a shot quarterback, is still potentially better than Malik Willis. Malik Willis, small sample size, has never done anything in this sport to make you think that he can play the game of football.
He played a full game, where he was 6 of 10 for 55 yards. Huh? He's atrocious. And yes, they have weapons, but he can't get him the ball. So if you want to tell me Love's worth 8 points, okay. But they must, if Tannehill said, I'm waiting for the right situation. Ryan, line 1, this is the right situation.
Well, okay, so the Colts just allowed Joe Mixon to run for 159 yards and a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Houston rushed for 5.3 yards per carry and 213 yards. They're going to have 8 guys in the box against Josh Jacobs.
And get to do stuff designed for Willis too.
Right?
You'd have to do that. You can't throw the ball.
That's probably going to be the early thoughts here during the week. That's going to be the game plan. Colts defense, they might be challenging the Cardinals for the worst. I get it.
You're there already?
Wow. They have some serious issues.
Okay, yeah.
I just think I had them pegged as an over team the entire time anyway, and this would have been my favorite one of the entire week by a mile if Jordan Love didn't get hurt.
Yep. Get up there, vsin.com. Check it out every day. Bookmark it. Great stuff today. Bill 80 nailed all of it today in the email you get every morning. Best bets, betting splits, exclusive articles, odds by state, betting tools, betting guides, the college football movement in the market for week 3, the moves week 2 in the NFL, deep Monday night football preview by several guys. It's always up there to check it out. vsin.com. Good job, Nigel Seeley, on Sabalenka as well. She got there.
I had Pagula. 12-1. Couldn't do anything with it.
Why? No, you didn't want to lay the steep no lock in a profit?
No.
Couldn't do it? Let it go?
No, I'm not laying $3 or whatever. I'll let it go. Take my chance.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Did she buy the honey deuces? $23?
She said she was going to, right?
I know. Sinner got there too. Chalky.
All right, coming up in the final hour of the program, of course, we're going to hit the Monday Night Football game yet again as a point spread movement today, going back and forth. Niners, they were 3.5 at some spots earlier in the day, back to 4.5 now in this game. And can't wait to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to look like. And up next, we will get to the good, the bad, and the ugly from the weekend. I thought this was the most important sequence in any game for the entire Week 1 slate. I will provide the details next on VSiN.